What's going on, guys? Emo Tempest here, and today I decided to bring you the Lightning Earth deck profile from the reunion. And actually, here to talk about today with me is Ian Velez. Ian?
How's it going, boys?
What's going on, man? So first of all, congratulations, obviously, is in order. But I have to ask, what's with the name Peanut Gallery? Because I know everyone, because I know everyone's asking.
Peanut Gallery, I picked it just because, mainly because of the current meta and the things that were surrounding the deck. Since it was this deck, I knew when it popped up, it was gonna cause controversy or just like a lot of talk. It's like, oh, this isn't like Earth Wind, or this isn't Water Wind, or like what is this? So it's kind of the name of the Peanut Gallery. I'm kind of like the guy in the background doing my own little testing. It's like, hey, you can play other decks that are pretty good.
Okay, all right, I get it, and I think you're right. I think it definitely sparked a lot of talk, afterwards, and that's good though. That means you're on the right track and you're doing something right. I think, right? So we have the list here for you guys. It's Lightning Earth, or Earth Lightning, however you want to say it. And Ian, please just go right into it. Run us through the deck. Tell us about it.
Of course, my pleasure. All right, so going through the list, run one zapped. Whenever I was going through testing and everything, I kind of like got between 1 and 2, seeing which one would be best. But I went with 1. Zapped is it gets the best summons for the deck. You put him on the field. He's another outset target. A lot of times you swing with him, and then people are afraid because they know, like, if they block and they want to kill him, they're going to die by a Remu. And yeah, it's just a pretty good card to have. It puts pressure, even though it's such a little dude.
Okay.
So yeah, one of him. It's not something you want to see every day, but it does help. 3 of Ilua. She gets you your damage. She's the main girl of the deck in terms of forwards. She goes in. She gets the job done. Definitely has put in. I'd say, in terms of damage, that every forward has got me in the game. Probably 80% of my damages are from Ilua. And also another thing is being able to have her special ability is really good. It works also in tandem with the deck, being able to activate your forwards, lower their power and stuff like that onto your opponent. So it's just all around just card that I can never see myself taking out.
Okay.
3 of Onion Knight. Onion Knight, of course, is another Alcid target, and even without Alcid, he's a pretty good card with going with Lulu and just pings that you can do with the deck just to finish off. Like, I would easily, like, it's a perfect on 5 backups. You can break one of your backups, deal 5, and then tap the last 3 backups you have and play Onion Knight to kill something off. So it's just a good all-around card. Helps good synergy with the deck. 3 of Alcid. I know Alcid, as of lately, has been in talks whether he's a good card or anything like that, but I've always thought he's a good card. It's just, there's more, yes, there are more answers to go against him, but I think so all around, it's a good card, and even if they do have an answer, they usually have to overpay or overdo, try to get rid of Alcid. And I think just Alcid's in the best hands whenever you know when to play him. So yeah, the only thing bad about Alcid is one of the best forwards out there in the game right now is Yuri. And Yuri's pretty good against him because he can easily duel himself or another forward you target. So that's something you always have to watch out for and everything. So he has his uses.
Okay.
1 of Estinian, I call him Ilua's big brother. He puts in work. Only a 1 of. You don't want to see him. There's only one part in the game you want to see him, and that's to finish off. So I don't think I can ever see like playing 2 of them. But yeah, he's just a big boy. He gets his work. He comes in, clocks in, gets his damage, and then clocks out. That's all he has to do. Now going to the Earth Force, I play 3 of Noctis. Well, if you guys didn't watch the stream, if it wasn't for him, he came in clutch as a 6 damage and got me a win in the semis. But no, and he's a good defensive card because a lot of times Lulu's good on the offensive, but also on the defense to be able to Uses ability to target something, deal 7, and then in response being able to Lulu as well. And it helps him a lot. And it's a good card. It goes synergy with the deck, and then it's as well. It's good thing to see at EX first. So definitely don't see myself feeling bad about having it in the deck. 2 of Daruma. I'd probably say, even though the Gdom is a pretty good card, he's probably like the forward I can take out first in the list. Just because there's not the pings I have with the deck are very minimal, because everything deals 4 to 5k at the least.
Yeah.
But I just have him there because he's a very good card, especially with Earth Wind. Well, not Earth, Water Wind. They have a lot of issues a lot of times because they have to ping small damages and then or all board damage when they have Yuri and Chelinka. And it's just a board that people have to deal with, and it just adds more to the control aspect of the deck. 2 of Volt. What can you say about the card? He won card best card in the game not too long ago. It's just a card that does well, like whether deal 3k to something, helps Lulu out a lot, making you guys bigger, no EX burst. There's not much I can say about the card. It's just a good card in general. 2 of Cecil. There's a lot of times where you're gonna run to like an Ishtola or something that's gonna be hard to take out with damage. So that's when Cecil comes in. Just being able to kill dudes a lot easier through just one card, and then in this deck there's a lot of recycling with backups I'll show later. But it's just a good all-around card. Again, good to hitting damage and everything. This card doesn't have a lot of EX burst, but when it does hit EX burst, it gets value off of it.
Of course.
I run 2 light cards. I know it looks weird, but 1 of Yuri is just a good card. Most of the backups I play in this deck are lightning. Literally only 2 backups, only the minor and the Mephilia are not lightning, and so being able to respond to cards that usually have trouble, Lulu has trouble taking out, kind of like an Ash. You can just call off her abilities and then Thundaga her and everything like that. It just gets it's an extra help. It's not needed, but it's something that whenever you see it, it's not a bad thing to see. And being able to tap your backups and then rather tap with Yuri, being able to break the backup with Lulu, it just adds value to the deck. So good call around. My niche and surprise pick for one of is Hrausberger. He put in work during the tournament. I'd probably say he put in more, other than Ilua, put in the most work. I got a lot of people off guard with being able to take off their break. That's one of the main reasons why I put him in the deck, is because he responds very well to Earth, Wind, and Mono Water, which are 2 very big matchups. And just Earth, Wind being able to take away their minor and midfielder targets is very good for the deck. It stops it a lot. Being able to take away their options as well with Mono Water, being able to take away their Vikings and their Knights as a response, it really helps the deck a lot. And then also, even if they don't have a deck where it's prevalent, where they have a backup, have a break zone where they have to recur, you also have things like being able to bring a character card, which helps a lot. Like already have a Lulu on field, bring another Lulu from your break to be able to use Thundaga again, something like that. So it's a good card. It definitely put in my work. Okay. Alright, going to backups. It's a good amount, more than usual. So like whenever I play in the deck and I don't see my backups, there's something going wrong. But yeah, 2 of Argy. I probably one of my favorite cards in Opus 7, just because both the haste and activate helps out a lot. To go in tandem with Lulu. One of my games I won in finals, I won because of Argy. I was able to give haste to my own wall to finish off the game right then and there, which is a good card. It helps a lot in the matchups going around. the activate helps a lot with, I guess, the ice matchups. Let's suppose they say they go ask it, I can just surprise and argue my own forward and things of such. So it's a good. And I've also done it to where they try to duel their forward to stop the outset, but then I argue their forward. So to reactivate, so the outset still goes off.
Nice.
That's a fun card. 3 of Black Mage. It's again, it helps out a lot. You know, some matches being able to reduce power. I've been able to do 2 Black Mage in one turn to kill a Stola and feel good about it. And it just helps. It just all around good QCB backup. That even though if you play it, and you have to crack with Lulu and be able to recur and just be able to reduce and just helps you off with kills with forwards that are hard to kill than others. The 2 searchers of the deck are the Sid, Klangoli, and Gramus. Not much really to say. They're just searchers. Get 2 key forwards into my hand whenever I need them. 3 of Fusoya, probably top 3-4 cards in the deck. Just being able to recur my forwards, bringing them back, and being able to keep reusing. Some of them have S abilities and such like that, and it helps a lot. It's really good. Backup. The only bad thing about it is the name, just because I am a fan as well with the Light Fusoya, and but really good all around card. 1 of Seymour. Seymour's literally mainly there for Stola. Such a good. Stola is probably the forward that this deck deals has the most issue with, just because of Shantoto, and then Lulu doesn't. You have to go around it. You have to do more work to get rid of their forward of their field because of just 1. Yeah. So there's like literally 4 or 5 different cards in here specifically for Lulu. Yeah, Stola that I put in. So 3 of Lulu. Well, she's the girl. She's the reason why this deck is a thing. I love her. I've been probably playtesting this deck ever since like maybe September, October, and I've been like playtesting on and off. I've had like light packages, I've had dark packages and everything, but the only thing I've never changed was Lulu. She's the main basis of the deck. I like her a lot. I think she's such a good card just because she makes whatever backups you have that already had their abilities and everything, it gives them more value. So like when a Black Mage is now a card that reduces your power and also deals 5,000 damage. So it just gives you more resources to your deck, and it's such a good card. Yeah. And
I'm curious though. How many times did you Thundaga during the whole tournament? Like, if you'd have to say.
Probably around 10, 12 times.
Really? Throughout the whole day, huh?
And that's yeah. It's just like I said. With like minors and affiliates and everything, there's a lot of recurring in the deck, and there's a lot of ways for me to get my Lulu backs and everything. So yeah, I'd probably say like two handfuls of times. I'd say I'd probably Thundaga it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what made the deck. 1 of Xdeath. It's one of those cards. It's just it's there for the fun of it. It's such a good card. Being able I've heard the best time to do it is being up 4 backups and then bringing your Steamian to swing for game. A lot of times, I've done it to where I can't kill their forwards, like let's suppose, and just being able to have another resource of being their break zone with all the good cards that are out in the moment. Like there's never a bad choice to bring back with Xdeath, especially with like wind being so prevalent. It helps out a lot when they play Barbarisha, and then I've done it a lot of times where I access to their Barbarisha and help me kill one of their guys to reduce it all the way to 1k. So it's a pretty good card. So the value of the card goes up depending on what the forwards are in the break. Mm-hmm. I think these 2 go in tandem. 2 of both Minor and Mephilia. They're the recursions of the decks. They are the reason why there's Earth cards in the deck. Is because without them, it will be a lot harder to make this a Lulu deck. I tried other builds with other elements, but without these 2 cards, it's a lot harder to play the Lulu. Without being able to use the recursion of the backups and even forwards with Mephilia, it was a lot. Mephilia is a lot really prevalent at the moment with all these Yuris going around. I probably broke three or four Yuris during the whole tournament with Mifila's ability to be able to crack a light or dark card. So it's a very prevalent and definitely a must-have when running this deck. And then 2 of Shantotto. It's a card that really there's nothing else to be said with it. It boards. It's the card of the cards of Final Fantasy. When you draw your Shantotto, that is the card that gives you the most relief to see in this game, I'd say. So yeah, it's a good card. And now to the summons. I have that Ramu package. I have 3 of the 3-drop. Probably in the top 3 best cards in the deck. Just being able against the Earth Wind matchup is so good. Being able to kill their Cactuars, and it perfectly hits their Zidanes off their Cactuar Tigger. I can kill their Datalumas. It's such a good card. It won me my top 8 matchup, being able to swing for game because I was able to kill and dole forward. Next is the 4-drop remove, the EX burst, reduced damage. Yeah, that card is Ishtola killer. That's pretty much one of the main reasons why it's there. And again, it helps out a lot with being able to reduce and be able to finish off dudes. And off the experts, I probably hit it probably the most prevalent EX burst in the whole deck that I've hit the most, just because it's prevalent whenever it's hit. Like with Cecil and Noctis, they're not really prevalent whenever they're hit because it depends on the state of the game or whatever forwards are being hit by whether they're doing or not. But Rumble is always good because one of the best mechanics in the game, if not the best, is the being able to reduce is so much better than being able to deal damage, just because it can go around literally any card in the game. So it's a good card to have. And then last but not least, 2 Hecaton. It's just there to get around the Minwu. This card does not want to see Minwu. 3-drop Airits or just anything. It's such a control-heavy deck that once you're up ahead and they're falling behind just because everything they put on the board dies. That is the main thing about this deck. Is even if you don't have force to kill or you've done your job in that regard, you can just start wiping out their backups and just putting them even more behind. But yeah, that's pretty much the basis on the deck. I love it a lot. It's not something that it's definitely not a deck that is easy to pick up. It's definitely a deck that the best that is mastered is you have to know the matchups of what you're going against. The main reason why I was being told to be iffy with the deck because its biggest fault is currently the deck gets deck in the format, which is Wind Water. It does falter pretty bad against it sometimes. It all really depends. Like whenever I play this deck, I play this against Wind Water about like more games than I can count, and each time only twice out of like probably like 25-30 games that I play tested with a certain my friend Alfred, only twice did he win through damage. Every other time he did it through milling. That's because this deck takes so long to get rid of their big fours like Ishtola, Pain, everything else. It's a lot harder to get rid of, and be able to just put on so many forwards with so many like just because they can activate and use resources a lot. There's a lot of trouble, but the main reason I picked the deck is because it does so well against literally everything else. Earthwind, it's not really a matchup that I fear too much. Like the only card I fear in Earthwind is literally Hecaton for my Lulu. That's literally the only thing I would say I fear about the deck. Mono Water, whenever somebody plays Mono Water and I see a Layla Viking package, I feel happy because I know, all right, I'm gonna win by milling because this deck was originally made because I got tired of seeing Mono Water in my locals, and I needed to kill these Layla Vikings and make them end. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this deck is a Layla Viking killer. I love it a lot, and I always win against Mono Water. It's an easy. It's usually I always win by mail out, just because it's such a control heavy deck. And then the other decks you go against, you just really have to know the deck and what you're going up against. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hope everybody picks it up. I already had a good amount of people send me their versions of the list and like, hey, I played at locals and I won. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Wow. And I just wanted to spread the love. Hope people enjoy it and have some fun with it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you. I really appreciate this. I did have a question. So, what would you say is the worst matchup? Water Wind, right? You mentioned that, like.
Yes, Water Wind. Yeah.
Water Wind. Okay, and what would you say are some other changes you would make to the deck? I know you mentioned Dataluma. Although it is a great card, you could probably swap it out for something.
Yeah, Dataluma is probably the one card I would take out. I would actually, I've already been playing around with it. I would probably put Zezat in place of it, the new one.
Okay.
Just because with having Earth and Chansoto, you can with this deck you can use all his abilities.
Right.
And it'll help you out because you can dole your backups to deal 4,000 either to a door or a active forward, and then crack with Lulu crack the backup you doled for CP with a Zezat, and then kill the dude. So that's definitely a card I'm gonna be playing with a lot more with the deck.
Okay. Is there anything
besides that?
Oh, besides that,
this deck is so tight because I've play tested and I've had so many versions of the deck that I think this is probably the best version of it that I can think of, because I've put in 3 or 4 months of play testing with the deck, so it's not something that I just came up with and got lucky and won. This is a lot of hard work that was put into it. There's definitely, I'm just waiting to see what Opus 8 brings and then see what it goes from there.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much, man. I know I'm rooting for you at the Kansas Petit Cup Championship or whatever. I actually hope to be there with you, when we all go out there again.
For sure.
But again, thank you, Ian, for coming on. And guys, I hope you all saw what he was talking about. For those who haven't play tested it yet, I definitely encourage you to. This is definitely what we like to call around here 100 IQ deck. So make sure to, if you want your game to improve, you should definitely give this a try. If you want to also have fun and see some of the crazy things you can do, this is the deck for you as well. So Ian, once again, thank you. Guys, we will see you next time.